Hi, everybody, and welcome to Self Love Sundays. I hope everybody's having an amazing week. And today, I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. Today, I really want to discuss something that's really important that has been coming up a lot for my clients and, people that I work with. So, I want to talk about the levels of ascension and waking up, and how, as we wake up, we kind of come to new realizations about ourselves, new realizations of reality, new realizations of everything that's occurring around us. And oftentimes, it's like we reach a new level, and that understanding becomes very overwhelming sometimes, and then we don't know how to navigate. Sometimes we end up feeling very lost. So today I kind of wanted to discuss that a little bit and maybe shed some light and some tools on what can help you navigate when you're starting to feel that way, when you're starting to feel overwhelmed or out of balance with the new discoveries that you're making in your healing. I know a lot of you are working so hard to really heal and come into a state of integration and find your highest expression. And it's not an easy job, because you have to be 100% real with who you are and what you are in this moment in order to even be able to move past the blockages and the programming that is holding us back. And so in that process, there's a lot of cycling through birth and death. And that perceived death of a certain aspect of ourselves sometimes can be very impactful. Not only impactful, but sometimes it's very painful. So when we're waking up, and I was just having a conversation with one of my clients yesterday about this, um, and I'll give you an example. She was feeling extremely overwhelmed with how she is coming into a realization of herself, and how her behavior, her attitudes, her way of living, and the way of looking at life has kind of made her feel that she's trapped in this cyclical pattern of emotions. And what happens to us as we get older is that we kind of solidify our routine reactions. We solidify our perceptions because it's all that we know. And when we don't question or take the time to look at those patterns of behavior, and we keep getting the same results, sometimes painful, sometimes we keep attracting the same partner that doesn't work for us. Sometimes we keep attracting the same circumstances in our workplace, with our family, and even the dialogue that we have with ourselves, feeling that we're trapped, we're bogged down, we can't move forward. You know, all of these things are patterns in our belief system. And when we're waking up, the real true work of how to leave this kind of game that we're playing with, this co-created reality, this holographic reality that we are projecting through our perception, right? So we live in a holographic reality that we are all sharing, and all of these experiences that we're living, we are co-creating. However, we're co-creating from the set of laws and understanding of how the universe and our life should be structured, based on what we have been given, based on the structure that is provided for us in our environment. And as we know, our society right now as a whole is going through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. We see people suffering outside of us, but we tend to stay in our comfort zone. We tend to observe. Maybe we feel a little emotion, but then we leave it at that. We let them be. And we continue along our day without knowing that maybe our actions, maybe our contribution through our emotions and through whatever it may be, through our even consumerism of our system, is building and contributing to the prolonged suffering of our peers. And so that's living in an unconscious state. And so we need to question what role we're playing. And one thing, and we have to work from the inside out, right? Because everything starts inside the core of yourself. If you are projecting onto others a lot of negativity, a lot of stress and anxiety in your environment, or if someone else is causing you a lot of stress in your environment, you have to question, what is your role in that dynamic? And how much of it are you allowing in your lifetime? How much of it are you allowing into your space? So this is the level of inquiry that I really strongly advise you all to take, because this is what it means to become conscious. This is what it means to practice the wisdom that we hear, many, many different spiritual teachers and leaders and people that are working so hard to give out this information. The bottom line is, are you willing to be conscious enough to question your every emotion, your every thought, and how you are creating your reality? And so this particular client of mine was going through a deep depression because she felt stuck. She was doing all the right things. She was listening to all the right things, reading the right books, and yet she felt like she wasn't getting anywhere. And so what I realize is that a lot of us, we are afraid of taking responsibility, and I'm talking about on the deepest level. We're afraid of taking responsibility and accountability for our role and for the parts of us that need to take responsibility for our reality. Sometimes we tend to want to hand over our power over to the next guru or teacher or person that's talking to us through a screen, and we want to just listen and follow and be told what to do. And on the deepest level, consciousness and coming into consciousness and practicing consciousness is a very individual thing. You're going to have to do that on your own. And you can learn many different techniques on how to do it. And really, the self-inquiry and coming into connection and understanding and questioning your own thoughts and emotions is going to be the bottom line. That's what you need to focus on, because what happens is we want to search and search and search for new techniques, new ideas, new concepts, and then we end up being so confused. We don't know where to begin. We end up being overwhelmed because we don't know what's really working, what's not working, when all along your inner connection and you're talking to yourself and you're working through your emotions was all you had to do. And the reason why is because as you are co-creating your reality, everything that you are projecting into yourself and feeling and emotions, you are pulling out into your reality. So in other words, we are 100% in charge of our spiritual evolution, of our work, of our consciousness, of our awareness, of everything that is occurring around us. We are 100% in control. And so that's the kind of thinking that we need to start coming into, instead of handing over our power to external things and keep asking for other people to tell us what to do. We don't need anyone to tell us what to do. In my personal journey, I spent years searching and looking at books, going to lectures, looking for the next person to give me that aha moment for me. And, I came into such a deep depression and disconnect with myself at one point, even to the point of suicide, like questioning my reality and saying, what's the point of me even being alive? And in the pursuit of those answers is where I decided that I had to stop messing around and I had to sit down and do the work. And that was in meditation. I had to sit down and really face the parts of myself that I disliked, that I was running away from so desperately. And so this is the thing that I invite you to do. Please take some time and stop running away from those aspects of yourself that we hate, that we are resentful for, that we are holding on to, because all of those things are in the subconscious mind. And until we face them, we're just going to keep going through the same pattern over and over again. Okay? So, again, the techniques that I'm teaching are techniques that, they've been everywhere. They've been in ancient scriptures, they've been in other teachers, but the bottom line, ultimately, what's going to work for you is that connection with yourself, okay? And you might even come up with your own techniques. When we talk about releasing ourselves from programs and identities of ourselves, of our old selves, what happens when we're at the verge of a death? Sometimes things become overwhelming because we don't feel that we're ready to release a certain aspect of ourselves. So, as we become aware of the negative aspects of ourselves, it's important for us to have the strength to be able to really look at all of the negative aspects of yourself and accept them 100% without coming into denial, because the ego really wants to do self-preservation, right? He really wants to give you all kinds of reasons why we need to hold on to this old self. And what needs to happen is we're going to be going through several births and re-deaths through awakening. And a lot of those are extremely painful because we have to look at parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at. We don't want to look at them, we don't want to acknowledge them, and sometimes it's better if we just keep them untouched. But please, I ask you and I invite you that your higher self has brought you into your timeline with your network, with your family that you have, with the stories that you've experienced, with all of the pain, the suffering, the happiness, the joy, to bring you to this moment in which you are questioning your reality. You are questioning what you're creating and all of that, so that you can go back and look at that main point in your life that is that blockage that keeps surfacing its ugly head over and over again. And only you know what that is. So nobody will be able to save you or make it easy for you in your evolution. You got to get to that dirty, difficult, painful place and start digging up all of that dirt, my loves. When we talk about coming in, a lot of people talk about coming into new dimensions. They talk about coming into new expressions, new vibrations. We're never going to be able to get into new vibrations if you're not cleaning up the old stuff that we're packing away in the back of ourselves, okay? And your body is the biggest expression of that energy, of that information. Within your energetic body is showing what you're storing. When I look at people, I can see if they're holding on to baggage here, in the back of their body, in their necks, in the back. And usually that's where they tend to have, problem areas like soreness or pain or something is going on within the body. And you go along your life without acknowledging that, or maybe you want to take some pills to kind of help soften the pain, but you're not getting to the core. The core is the emotional storage of information that you're not willing to look at. So the invitation is to really this week take a look at the parts of yourself that you don't want to look at and get to work. Okay, open those up. And there's a lot of videos that I have done on some techniques that you are very welcome to utilize to help you look at those. And today, I would like to share a little meditation with you that we're going to be allowing opening of these hidden parts of ourselves. Okay, so and the reason why I named this talk today, Clarity in a Time of Confusion, is because if we don't clean up the old filters and the old junk that's sitting in the back of our mind, we're going to keep looking through new information, whatever it is, through those same filters. And that causes a lot of confusion because part of you, your higher self, is already allowing you and opening new things for you to look at, new directions for you to explore. But the other part of you that is suffering, that's in pain, is always going to want to keep you back in a place that's safe, that's comforting, that's familiar. And so there's always this kind of disconnect. And this kind of disconnect within yourself causes a tremendous amount of confusion. And so when we come into new information, we're not sure. We don't know what's up, what's down, what's right, what's wrong, because we haven't taken the time to integrate these within ourselves enough to have clarity with what the higher self requires. And the higher self is basically that pure infinite consciousness that is a part of your organism that will direct and help you move through the illusion of the matrix in which we live in right now. So let's take a moment and What I'd like to do is to kind of, this practice I'm going to share with you, we're going to get into an uncomfortable aspect that you've been dealing with. And I want you to feel this uncomfortable aspect, because we tend to want to ignore our emotions that are heavier, that are, painful things from the past. We say we have already worked with that. But let me tell you, if you are still experiencing suffering in your life, if you're still feeling pain, if you're still having trouble manifesting money, relationship, all those things, you still have something to work on. It's not over. So we need to look up that. We need to look that up, and we need to bring that up into space and really have a true healing, okay? Because there's many layers to that healing. And as we expand, as we open, as we have new experiences in our life, they will help us look at the many facets of that pain so that we can truly evolve from every single angle. Okay? And that's what helps us come into a much more expansive expression of yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start by inhaling deeply and exhaling. We're going to visualize the center of the earth, and I want you to send a grounding cord, a connection that connects your body all the way down to the center of the earth. You're going to visualize the core of the planet as something nice and firm, and you're going to ground yourself. So as usual, as you know, I always do energy work, because you are energy. So you need to learn how to utilize your energy. And so I'm guiding you through some practices to help you get acquainted with how your multidimensional body functions. So go ahead and visualize that connection all the way down to the center of the earth. Inhale deeply and exhale. Okay, we're going to visualize a protective field around our body, or just becoming aware of our energetic space. So visualize a sphere surrounding your energetic space. It can be a sphere or an egg shape, whatever you feel fits your space. Take a look at your energy, and you're creating a field of protection around your energy, making sure that you are owning your space. Okay, we're going to ground the room that we're in down to the center of the earth. We're going to surround this room in a gigantic sphere of protection as well, to allow us to do our work. Raising the frequency of this space to gold as we raise it to the highest frequency possible, the most neutral energy. In this moment, we ask that anything that does not belong in this space leave now. So we clear our energetic space from anything negative, any entities, attachments, anything that wants to leech on to our light. Okay, we're going to start with the root chakra, the red light at the base of your spine. You're going to close that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime. Inhale deeply and exhale. Disconnecting from the physical plane. We're going to go up to the sacral chakra, the orange light right below the navel. You're going to visualize closing that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime. And we're coming into reading state so that we are activating our intuition. Okay, the intuition of the body. This is how the body works. This is how the chakras work, and this is how we learn how to control the chakra system. We're going to go up to the solar plexus, the yellow light in the center core. You're going to visualize closing that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime, disconnecting any imbalance within the emotional body. You're going to go up to the heart center. You're going to open that chakra as wide as possible, opening the center of connection. You're going to go up to your throat chakra. You're going to open that blue light in the center of your throat, front and back, opening the center of communication. You're going to go up to your third eye in the center of your forehead. Go ahead and open that chakra as wide as possible, opening the center of intuition. You're going to utilize a color that represents your highest expression. Go ahead and see that, and you're going to put it up into your crown center. So visualize your crown. That's like a wheel. And you're going to fill each section up. We're going to align ourselves with our career, setting the intention that our career is in alignment with our highest expression. Go ahead and fill that in with your color. Very good. The next is going to be our consciousness. Fill that in. The next is abundance. The next is health. Fill that in with your highest expression. The next is going to be your soul purpose. What are you here to do? Fill that in as we make sure that we align ourselves with that information. Very good. Now that your crown chakra is shining brilliantly with your color, you are grounded down to the center of the earth. Your first three chakras are closed and your top three chakras are open. You are now in reading state. So as you train yourself daily to activate this part, this technology of your body, you start to come into a state of psychic awareness in which you can navigate your energetic body. So now that we're here, we're going to run energy. I want you to visualize from the center of the earth. You're going to pull up a powerful green energy that comes rushing up into the body, in through the legs, up into the core of your body to create a powerful vortex. And this combination of earth energy and source is cleansing and helps us destroy any connections to this physical plane. Visualize pulling up that green energy in your center core. Very good. From source, I want you to visualize pulling down a powerful gold energy that comes down through the crown of your head, down your spine, and combines with this green earth energy at your center core. So mixing that earth energy and that source energy, creating a powerful, wide vortex around your body. I want you to visualize that it's literally pulling through the 7 layers of your body. You have 7 layers around your body energetically. So we are cleansing out each one of those. And as we help ourselves to prepare to release anything that is stagnant within our space energetically, we are moving that out. So just visualize that and prepare yourself emotionally to kind of release anything that no longer serves you. Inhale deeply and exhale. Okay. We're going to send 10% of that combination. So green and gold goes back down to the center core. And at the center core, you're going to visualize releasing, eliminating, creating a channel of elimination. Go back up to the solar plexus. You're going to pull up green and gold up your spine, and from the crown of your head, I want you to visualize spilling out this green and gold on the outside of your sphere, cleansing the illusion, cutting any external cords that are connecting to your multidimensional body. Back to your solar plexus, and you're going to pull up green and gold up your spine, and from your arms, I want you to feel the inside of your sphere. Visualize that green and gold energy surrounding your body. And this is the most healing part of this practice. So I really want you to take a moment to connect with yourself. And as you visualize that healing earth and source energy entering into the pores, into the muscles, the flesh, down to the cellular level of the body, I want you to heighten your awareness, and almost as if you're visualizing the cells in your body and becoming fully aware of them as you begin to prepare yourself to work with the information that your organism is holding on to. So take this moment to inhale deeply and exhale. We're going to take 3 cleansing breaths as we connect with our body further and allow the body to absorb this healing. Okay, very good. So now that you are cleansing your body, we're going to go even deeper. So we're going to go into the part where we're going to start doing some deeper work. I want you to start thinking about the blockage or the feeling of the blockage that you have been feeling recently in your work. And so for some of you, this is something that is pretty, you know, pretty recent. You have been feeling this recently, or something that you've been dealing with before. But I want you to tap into that emotion of feeling blocked, whether it's in your career, in your relationship, or in your own spiritual progress, which is really the main focus of this practice. However, if you're not aware of the blockage in your spiritual practice, it'll become very clear within any other aspect of your life, because the root is going to be the same for all those blockages. Okay, so whatever blockage you're experiencing right now, I want you to bring into your present moment. Let's go ahead and bring that experience into your present moment of feeling blocked. And I want you to sit with that emotion as you become absolutely present. And I want you to scan your body from head to toe. And as you become more aware and more present of this emotion, I want you to notice where in your body you are feeling this kind of a blockage. So as you feel that blockage, I want you to notice what part of your body is really feeling, sensing something, feeling tightness. If you can't feel anything immediately, notice what part of your body becomes really tight as we talk about these things, and that'll normally be the aspect of your body that is holding on to this information for you. Excuse me. Okay. So as you focus on the part of your body that is holding on to the information, I want you to become absolutely present with that sensation in the body. So bring your presence into that part of the body as you start to feel for what is there, as you start to explore that emotion through your presence, more information will come up for you. Okay, so go ahead and become present and focus, narrow down your focus on that part of the body that's tight, that's holding on to that. And so this is a time where you may get memories, images, feelings, emotions, thoughts are going to start surfacing up. Please take note of all of these thoughts and emotions that are coming up. Okay. And this is what we can work with. A lot of information that is there for you to work with. Very good. So for example, if you're feeling it in your chest, okay, you're going to have some thoughts coming up, some emotions. So what I want you to do is I want you to identify what is the emotion that comes up. What is the strongest emotion that you're feeling in that moment? Okay, I want you to narrow down, focus on that emotion. And I want you to kind of question, where does this emotion come from? Okay, so what triggers that emotion in you usually? Is it a fear? Is it an insecurity? Is it a doubt? Is it something that happens externally, or something, or a process internally that causes you to feel this emotion? Okay, so focus on that. And as you feel and and question this emotion, we begin to open up in more information. Okay? I want you to inhale deeply and exhale. And what I want you to do is I want you to recognize the first time that you felt this emotion, whether it's in the recent past or as far back as you want to go, so that we can start to focus on the origin of when the program of this emotion began. And it can be more than one circumstance, it can be many sprinkled throughout your life, or it can be one specific memorable moment. I want you to take yourself to that moment, and as you open up that memory, I want you to observe, as if you're watching a movie, what is occurring in that interaction. Okay? And the most important part of this is to understand what is being triggered. What part of you is feeling resistance to either letting go of this memory or letting go of an attachment? Is it an attachment to yourself, an attachment to the circumstance, an attachment to the other person? What is the dynamic? And the most important part is that I want you to notice who is playing a role, what part of you, and what role are you playing in this dynamic. Oftentimes, what we're going to find is that we are playing sometimes codependent dynamics with even our own selves or another person. So I just want you to put a moment to kind of observe and see what is occurring in that situation so you can understand yourself better. And so what we want to do is go through a series of questions where you are questioning why you are feeling this way. How did that begin? And what is it that you really needed? What did you really need in that moment? Okay. How did this reaction serve you? How does this role that you're playing serve you? And how is it a detriment to you? Becoming fully aware, fully honest, without trying to come into self-preservation or trying to not look at some things that sometimes may be uncomfortable to look at. Take this moment to be 100% honest with yourself. Okay? What is it that your inner child truly needs? It's important that we look at ourselves as children, because we tend to disconnect from our inner needs. We tend to not acknowledge what we truly want. And so part of us feels like it's just a capricious need. But what happens is, if we don't acknowledge the true need that our self has within us, we end up building all of these idealistic things, and we start building an idealistic life around that, and idealistic relationships, idealistic reactions, idealistic thoughts, concepts, programs. And this is how our life ends up being so far away from anything that we ever wanted in the first place, because we're not being 100% honest with what we truly need. And that inner child is the one that's going to be showing you your lesson, your life lesson. Basically, what you came here to learn the most is the unfulfilled aspect of yourself as your inner child. So go ahead and take a look at yourself there and be really honest with what you need. And so what we're going to be building is an understanding of how we can start to change. What parts of us needs to heal or die in order to be 100% authentic in our life expression. Okay, what part of us? So are we, maybe the fact that we are not acknowledging our pain and our sadness and our loneliness, for example, are we not acknowledging our loneliness? Maybe we keep cycling through, desperately trying to fill up our time so that we can get away from feeling that loneliness or feeling that pain or that sadness. What is the dynamic? Break it down. That's where the gold is. That's where true transformation can come from. Very good. So you can spend hours looking at this, and I strongly suggest that you do, my loves, because this work never ends. We're going to clean up one level, you're going to come up to the highest level, and there will always be rises and lows. And in those rises and lows, our understanding of authenticity will change. Okay, the way that we express our authenticity will change until we end up cleaning all of that out, and then there's no more suffering and pain to pull from. And that's when you raise your frequency and come into your highest expression. So let's continue. I'm going to bring you back into alignment, and we're going to do a nice little healing for you so that you can start your week with a new understanding from this information. So I want you to visualize surrounding your body in a gigantic sphere of golden light. And I want you to pick a color that represents healing, the most powerful healing for you. What color is that? I want you to visualize from source, you're going to pull down a powerful wave of this healing energy, and you're going to surround your body in this moment, in this space, with that healing, providing yourself with support, with love, with compassion, with connection, with unconditional love. And you're going to absorb that energy into the body through the pores, through the muscles, the flesh, the bones, down to the cellular level, healing yourself, providing yourself with everything that you need to allow yourself to come into your highest expression. Okay, so inhale deeply and exhale. And as you release any kind of feelings of pain, sadness, for example, all that heaviness in your chest, I literally want you to visualize that the floor underneath you is going to suction, absorb that out of your body. I want you to feel it leaving your body, okay? And you can, the way it'll truly transform and truly leave your body is through understanding and through the work, okay? So if you have done the work and if you have opened up that understanding, you will never have that pain again. It'll be released and dissolved. However, if you're still needing more time to work on it, you can do it on your own. And for this practice, I want you to eliminate. This is also an important practice to learn how to eliminate emotions from the past or the future that we're trying to connect with and come into the present moment. Because in this present moment, you are safe, you are perfect, you are loved, you are whole. So bring yourself into the control of releasing any emotions that don't serve you in this moment. So go ahead and allow the earth to visualize it absorbing it out of your body. And you're going to take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, releasing all of that out of your body. Okay. And instead, we're going to replace that with this new healing energy that's going to nurture the body, help the body, heal the body. Very nice. Beautiful. And we're going to start with the root chakra. I want you to open that root chakra back up into a balanced state, that red light to the width of your body. We're going to spin it as fast as possible. I want you to visualize bringing down a white hose of light, and it's literally, we're going to spray our chakra. Okay, visualize that. And as you spin the chakra as fast as you can, we are releasing anything that is out of alignment with ourselves. It is leaving that chakra until it's crystalline red at the root of your spine. All programs, blockages, pain, and illusions are leaving that space. Inhale deeply and exhale. We're going to go up to the second chakra now, the orange light. You're going to open that chakra back into a balanced state, spinning it as fast as possible, cleaning out any blockages from that space so that you come into a nice, clear creation energy. Okay? We're going to go up into the solar plexus, the yellow light. You're going to visualize opening that chakra back into balanced state, spinning it as fast as possible, cleaning out all of that confusion, that sadness, that pain, that struggle that we feel, releasing all of that completely out of our space. Okay? We're going to go up to the heart center. We're going to close it back into a balanced state, spinning it as fast as possible, cleaning out any kind of programs that hinder our ability to love ourselves, to understand our self-worth, to have compassion for ourselves, to love unconditionally ourselves and everything around us. We're going to go up to the throat chakra. You're going to close it back into balanced state, spinning it as fast as possible. Visualize cleaning out all of the blockages that don't help us communicate clearly, expression, the balance of the yin and the yang within the body, within the mind. Okay? We're going to go up into our third eye. You're going to close that chakra back into balanced state, spinning it as fast as possible, cleansing out the blockages for intuition. Anything that doesn't allow us to work with our intuition, to trust our intuition, we need to clear out. Inhale deeply and exhale. And you're going to go up to your crown chakra, and you're going to send that up into the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th. Turn on all your chakras till the 13th. As you are activating the higher, you're opening and activating the higher frequencies of your organism so that you can embody higher strands of information and allow your higher self to integrate into this three-dimensional physical body. Okay? You are opening the channels of that information. And that's what we want. We want to be fully connected with our higher self. That is our guide. We don't need any other guide. That's our guide. That's our connection. That's our system, our navigation control center. Okay? Because that is pure infinite consciousness. It knows everything, it sees everything, and allows us to direct us through this limited life that we have, experiencing things through true authenticity. Okay. Very good. So you're going to inhale deeply. And as you go up to the 13th chakra above you, you're going to see a powerful white light, which is basically your higher self. And you're opening into source, that infinite consciousness. You're going to connect up into that. And you're going to bring down that white light over your body, coming up into the toes, the legs, all inside of your body. You're going to visualize growing your inner light. Your inner light is basically your own consciousness within you that is at the center core of your body, of this organism. So you're going to visualize expanding that white light all around you as you embody this white light so that you can be the beacon of consciousness, of light throughout your day. Okay? So you're going to inhale deeply and exhale. And as you open your eyes and come back into the room, I want you to continue to see your grounding cord, your full alignment, your connection to the white light, and your protection around you. And the reason why I want you to do that with your eyes open is because this is what you need to maintain this alignment throughout your day. It's really going to help you, become aware of your energetic space, of what you're allowing. It's just living on a whole different level of consciousness. Instead of being at cause to everything around you, you are now an active co-creator. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to do a little Q&A now. So for anyone that has any questions, I'm going to go down the list here. Thank you so much to everyone that joined today. And I'm just going to answer questions that were put into the comments section. Let's see if I can get to everybody's questions here. Elara McFarland says it requires being honest with your own self. You're absolutely right. That honesty, and sometimes, it takes us to be extremely brave with ourselves, because sometimes we fear looking at how, we have a lot of judgment towards ourselves. And sometimes we have done terrible things in our life. And when I first started my journey, I had so much guilt and so much shame for what I was. And all of that came from a limited perception, of course. But looking at all of the things that I've done that I wasn't proud about in my life was the hardest thing I've ever done. The hardest thing. But when I faced it, and when I started to have more compassion, and I understood why I acted that way, why I decided to make those decisions, you start to see another side of yourself. You start to notice the pain that fuels those decisions and those actions in ourselves. And it's really important that we understand that pain, so that we can become friends and familiar with that pain, so that instead of that pain driving us in the future, it is now allowing an opening for healing before we start to act on it. So that's why that honesty is so incredibly important. Thank you for saying that. William, have a great Sunday. Thank you so much. You too, William. Love you, Becky, always. Sister Becky. Becky felt it in her chest. That's wonderful. So another thing about where we are holding on to this information is that the beautiful thing about the technology of the human body is that our body is structured in such a complex and beautiful way that the information from our pure consciousness is fragmented into our chakra system. It's organized into the chakra system. I put up a chart of the chakras before. It's also on my website for download. But the chakra system is a very complex, beautiful system that is connected to the endocrine system and the organs, the major organs of the body. And so all of the body, all of the organism is one giant filtration system. It's a sponge for information. Everything that we're feeling and experiencing in our environment, we are absorbing, and that information comes in through the skin, one of the largest organs of our body, or the largest organ of our body, then comes into the nervous system and comes in through the information of our nervous system into the organs, and is then filtered depending on its frequency. So your body is actually a tuning system that aligns information and allocates it based on its frequency. And the lower frequency emotions and information are stored here within the first three chakras, because these three chakras are our connection to the physical plane. They are our safety, our grounding, fear-based programs. They are our creation, our sexuality, our ability to procreate, and they are our emotional body, our feeling, our sensory system. So those are the three main aspects of the body in the three-dimensional realm. So what we're storing for the most of us is usually this part down, right? That's where the majority of us have an imbalance. So your body will tell you what is out of balance. The heart center is, of course, the center of unconditional love, of your ability to love yourself. Anytime that we have felt worthless, that we haven't stood up for ourselves, that we haven't expressed ourselves or, acted through that filter of self-love and care and balance, you're going to feel it here. This is also past relationships, our dynamics with relationships, and different kinds of relationships that we have. So we can get into that a little bit more next time. Eric says, or who is this? Anastasia. Oh, hi, Anastasia. So great to see you. Fernando, I'm glad I stumbled on this. I'm very confused. Fernando, if you can elaborate what's going on, I'd love to talk a little bit more with you. Tony, hi. Zeus, touching the earth. Is it needed for grounding, or is it mostly by visualization? Awesome. So grounding really is by visualization. I mean, we live in cities. We don't live in nature. So our ability to connect with that orgone energy, with that balanced natural chi life force is difficult. So for us, we must utilize our visualization to help us connect to the center of the earth, which is the center core of this planetary system. And so as we are connecting to this center core of the earth, we are then aligning ourselves with the vibration and frequency of planet Earth. And that's so important for the rhythms, the natural rhythms of the body to come into balance with the cycles of Earth, with our time cycles, and to bring the body into balance. Okay, and also to come into the present moment. When we connect to the center of the earth, we are asking our body and all fragments which we have to work in integrating to be present and come back into the present moment. The majority of us, we're actually outside of our body, usually in zombie mode, and different levels of zombie. We can be talking right now and you can still be in zombie mode because you're not connecting with your body, you're not connecting with your true emotions. A lot of us are in denial, of what we're feeling, what we really think. And so that kind of a disconnect is something that the majority of us are living through. So grounding allows you a really easy tool to visualize yourself being connected to this present moment, in this present moment, so that you can start to learn how to act and express yourself through that present moment. It's really important. So grounding is not just about touching the earth, it's about energetically connecting your entire body to the center of the earth so that you can bring yourself into the present moment consciously. Thank you, Zeus. Karen, thanks for your vulnerability. I can relate to many of the feelings you have gone through. Thank you so much, Karen. Really working on shedding the past. I know, me too. Becky, gotta run. That's it. Okay, thank you so much, Becky. So Karen, yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think a lot of these things come up in cycles. So right now, a lot of my clients have been messaging me about the same thing. And I can see some of you are dealing with it too. So I'm glad we had this chat, and I'm so glad to be holding space. I hope this practice helped, and please take the time to do it. You do need more time to do it. I know that you do, but at least I'm teaching you the technique so you can do it on your own. So I hope you guys have an incredible week. All my love to you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.